What's going on, world? It's your man Chuck Creekmur, aka Jigsaw, and I am here with a special guest. He's a producer, a filmmaker. He's a rapper. He's like all these things, and now in the most current version, he is an AI artist expert. Uh, what would you, what would Ron Lawrence, the legendary one, call himself right now at this point?
I guess I'd be an AI filmmaker, AI specialist.
AI
I don't
filmmaker,
know.
AI
This thing,
specialist. Okay.
yeah, this thing is so new. I don't know. I don't even know if they have titles for this stuff right now.
Yeah, I almost
Crazy.
called you Amin Ra, but that's something for a little for in a second. All
Yeah. Okay. No
right.
doubt.
But nah, seriously, you know, listen, I obviously, man, I've known your name all the way back.
Right.
Uh but let's start right now. Let's start right now and talk about AI. So first of all, you have really hit like sort of like the bullseye with the culture, right? Because there's a lot of pushback on AI. A lot of people have problems with it.
Mhm.
Um, but you seem to create AI that people love. And I find that genuinely, legitimately special.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your art.
Yeah. Well, my art really it speaks to the culture,
Hmm.
and it's through my eyes how I see it and my experience.
Hmm.
Right. So I just felt the need to tell the story. I looked at AI and I said, "There's something missing,"
Mm.
and I wanted to fill that void.
Okay. Okay. So I can't remember the first thing I noticed that you did. Had something to do with old school hip hop. I think turning album covers.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was the beginning. Yes.
Okay. What made you do that? What made you animate album covers?
Um, I just found, I just wanted to try some. Basically, I was just messing around
Hmm.
with AI. I started off with cookie cutter apps, and then when I got onto the professional apps, I just wanted to make things move, and the album covers was one of the first things that I went to, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything that I just set out to do to say, hey, I'm just gonna I'm going to create this big masterpiece. It was just experimenting, and when I did it, I was like, okay, let me test it out. And I think I had did a piece on. I was doing little things first. When I was sharing it with my friends.
Hmm.
I was animating uh, characters like Kid and Play and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and I was sending them to them. And then I decided to put stuff online. I think I did a little piece on Salt and Pepper. I don't even think they saw it, but it was what I was doing was they had they're getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Hmm.
and I had did a little 30-second piece on them, and I had made the album cover move.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and uh, do like maybe a 3-4 minute segment, and put all the album covers together. And I
Hmm.
used the album, the music of Two Kings and the Cipher. I'm not sure if you even realize that. I did all the instrumentals of the Two Kings and the Cipher album, and I put it behind the uh, um, the moving images. And the reason why I used that music was because I didn't want to get because of the fact that I own the rights to that music. I knew that I wouldn't get red flag
Hmm.
for it being 3-4 minutes, and that's why I chose that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Mhm.
Have any artists or anybody pushed back on the representation at all?
No, I haven't really gotten. I mean, I've seen people online. It's you get a lot of mixed reviews. People love
Hmm.
it, and then you have the extremists that say they talk about the environmental issues involving
Mm.
AI and stuff like that. I have this one lady got into my inbox and was just going at me like crazy, cursing me out, like, "Why are you using AI? This and that." And I was just like, "Yo."
Yeah.
And then when I read the comments, it's crazy, man. Either most of the people love it, but then
Hmm.
you have a few that come out and say crazy things.
Yeah, I think it is bad. It is pretty bad for the environment. Not to put that on you. It's
Mhm.
just to say that the people that create these centers for that support it are oftentimes doing it in Black communities or things like that. So sometimes we don't know. Like it's
Mhm.
just something we're doing on our computer, and we just think it's cool or whatever, but it is apparently an environmental hazard. But I can't sit here and say that I know.
But then again, technology is an environmental hazard. I mean, it's always been. I mean,
Yeah,
the
but
invention
I,
of
I think they're targeting us though. Like I think it's sort of like the water in Flint. It's being put in in places that are folks that are disenfranchised, right? Because again, I'm not here to preach about it because I literally only know the very basics,
right,
So
right.
yeah, I mean I've always maintained that technology is, maybe two steps ahead and then at least one backwards.
Mhm.
It's just inevitable
Right.
without
Yeah.
question. But like I said, you definitely struck a chord. Do you see any folks out there as competition? Are people stealing your style, or do you think were you inspired by somebody?
Well, I mean, I really don't pay attention to what other people are doing. I mean, I see people's work, right? But I try not to copy anybody. I just do what I feel is that comes to mind. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And it just turns into art. But I don't really, as far as competition is concerned, if anybody, I mean, I see people do things, um, and I've seen people, yeah, I have seen people do try to copy. I have, and it's what it is. It's flattering. You can't stop it. People are they're gonna
Hmm.
do it. They're gonna try it. But my goal is just to try to get as much information out there as possible, so I could, just put a stamp in the game. It's real early, and
Hmm.
it just reminds me of going back to the early days of hip hop
Hmm.
when it was just a wide open field, and we were just trying to figure it out. Right? I think this is where we are with AI. There's so much that you can do with AI. A lot of people don't even realize, and
Hmm.
with hip hop, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, we just have to just get in there and figure it out, like
Yeah.
anything else.
What's the biggest compliment you've gotten? Like who's jumped in the comments or who reposted that you were like, wow.
I mean, so many. A lot of people have reposted my stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen D Nice do it. I've seen Rakim. I've
Yeah.
seen, and I'm getting a lot of people following me too. A lot of big names. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool seeing that. Because I'm
I
not
think
really
that's
much of a social media person. It's not like I be on social media all the time. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
this right here has gotten me to the point where I pay attention more. And my
Hmm.
page has gotten so busy that it's not even on my personal page anymore. I can't even put up personal pictures. It wouldn't even look right of me
Hmm.
putting up, I'm over at this spot over here because it's being bombarded with all the AI stuff that I'm doing that I have to create another page where I can put my personal stuff on. So, it's just moving.
Do you have any plans, bigger, grander plans? A movie, I don't know. So I mean,
Yeah, there's so much that you can do with this. I
yeah.
mean, commercials, movies,
Mhm.
you name it, the sky's the limit. Everything that you see out there, AI can replace it and do
Mm.
it. And it's going to get to the point where it's going to be AI doing those jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, from campaigns, I even did a little campaign for Raz Baraka.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he didn't even have to be there. He
Wow.
just gave me pictures and I just put everything to life and they used it. Yeah.
That's crazy. They say Will Smith just got busted. Well, let me allegedly, let me not use the word busted. Allegedly, Will Smith used AI to, create a crowd.
Right, right. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now to see AI is not perfect. Not yet. Okay. There's still some flaws, and sometimes you can look at it and say, okay, this is AI. And I seen the crowd because sometimes the face is a little distorted. That's the giveaway.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
when you look at it, you're like, okay, this is AI. And I think that's probably how they figured it out because I saw uh, I saw it was on social media, and they were showing the captions of the pictures and stuff, and then they did close-ups on their faces, and you could see the distortion. So that was the giveaway right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy, man.
What yeah, it's definitely crazy. What are your thoughts on sort of like this, replacing humanity, replacing jobs, replacing human beings, replacing the shared experience? Like if, for example, if that crowd was fake, I'm just saying allegedly to cover us. Don't want Charlie Mack mad at me, but what if that crowd was a full crowd and we were there, and we're experiencing all as one? You don't get that with AI. Do you ever feel like this is something that's taken over?
Yeah, I think eventually it will. I think a lot of things will get taken over with AI.
Yeah.
We saw this at the beginning. I mean, if you just go back to the early 20th century, a lot of things got taken over with technology. When you're dealing with the
Mhm.
farmers and stuff like that, and industrialization came in. Um, and on the automobile, you couldn't use horses anymore. Right?
Right.
Electricity came in; they stopped using the kerosene lights, and that's what technology does. It takes away jobs, and yes, it does cause pollution. It always has, and but there's a good side and there's a bad side.
Yeah.
But we just
Yeah.
have to figure out, okay, well, if it's gonna take my job, how do I get behind it so I can create a job,
Hmm.
right? So if it's
Hmm.
doing my job, well, maybe I could do the prompts to do the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Uh Yeah, I've seen a lot of rappers using it a lot now, and I don't always love it, because
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like uh it's just whack. You know what I'm saying? Like literally it just
I think,
looks
yeah,
whack.
yeah. I mean, the creativity in terms of people rhyming and stuff like that. They don't necessarily have to be as creative anymore to come out with dope raps because they can
Yeah,
cheat.
yeah,
Right?
definitely,
I mean,
definitely.
just think about the turntables. When Serato came out, everybody could DJ now, right? So you don't
Yeah,
have to have the crazy skills that you once had because Serato can do it for you. So now everybody's a DJ.
yeah.
I even Yeah. So you got movie stars DJing because it doesn't take much to do. And this is what happens with technology.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You recently did something that I thought was dope. I'm an alpha man, so I was looking at this video. I felt like we needed to have more alphas in that video. It was an awful lot of Q dog activity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
I understand.
that's my fault. It wasn't intentional.
Hmm.
It wasn't intentional.
It's all good.
I try to do as much research as I can in terms of finding photos, but I couldn't get. I called friends. They were giving, and I kept saying, "Look, I need stuff that I need the nostalgic stuff. I need the old stuff." And they were sending me pictures of like of today, and I said, "No, I can't use that. I need the
Right.
old stuff." Right. So I even went online, and it was I just couldn't find what I needed.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
yeah, but it wasn't intentional. But there's
I
three
saw
pictures in there. There are three pictures in there. Okay, a cute dog may have had maybe 4 or 5 pictures, and
right.
I was at three, but there were three.
It's all good. It's all good. I'd like to believe that we were the ones that set it off. So we should.
And you did,
Yeah,
rightfully
no,
so. Yes, yes.
it's all good.
And
But
I got the Zetas mad at me because they said there was only one picture.
oh,
Yeah.
you don't want the Zetas mad at you, bro. I tell you, I can tell you that.
Was it the Sigma Gamma? It was one of them. They was mad. They said
Okay,
you only got one pick.
right, right.
And this
Nah,
one
no,
guy
that,
told me, this one cat got in my inbox. He was like, "Yo, this is, you changed my image. This is not me. This is the original picture." And then you got people saying um that why use AI when you can use actual footage. I got people saying that. Yeah.
uh yeah. Well, it's definitely like a dilemma. It's definitely questions. I mean, I agree. I mean, look, I'll give you a perfect example. My dad passed away a long time ago. I just say a long time ago. Now, my dad passed away before technology took off at all, at least this modern version. So I have one audio clip of his voice, one
Right.
clip.
Yeah.
I have limited pictures. We didn't have, there weren't cell phone cameras then. You know what I'm saying? So when I see some of these, more, these pictures being animated, I have that clash, that conflicting brain that says, man, I would love to hear my dad's voice. I would love to see video of him. He was always taking pictures. He was always taking the video. So he wasn't in the video,
Mhm.
So then there's that conflict that I have, like, man, I wouldn't mind seeing my dad like that, and that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah, I think there'll be some. You got a lot of pictures of your dad too.
I got, yeah, I got some pictures.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they'll eventually have some type of technology where you can actually revive your parents. If
Mm,
that makes any sense through AI,
yeah.
and you can kind of see them through AI,
Yeah.
their voice and everything, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. What do you think is the future? I mean, it's moving fast, bro. It's moving so fast.
Light speed,
Unlike, huh?
lightning speed.
Yeah, lightning speed.
Yeah.
It's I don't know the future. I mean, what do you think happens in? Let's just say 5 years. Let's go way out. Let's like
No,
5 years is way out.
I would say a year, 5 years.
Yeah, you could say a year, a year. I mean, look, I saw what we did last year.
Yeah,
And I was on panels about it last year, and now, I mean, it's so much different even
yeah,
after 1 year.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people say it's scary. It's it's gonna shift. It's gonna be a crazy shift in the world. A lot of
Mm,
things are gonna change,
yeah,
and you got to be prepared for it. I think. What could you do? Yes, a lot of people don't like it, but why fight it? Just figure it out, right? Because it's not going anywhere.
well,
Figure it out.
I'll push back a little bit.
No, and figure out how it's gonna work for all hip-hop.com. I'm serious.
Yeah, of course.
Figure that shit out. Because yeah, because it's what it's gonna do is going to move your platform to another level.
Mhm.
Because if everything is moving in that direction, you need to get on board, regardless if you like it or not.
Yeah, I don't want to pretend like I'm not on ChatGTP or what, I'm we're I don't even want
Because
to
you don't have
say,
there's a lot
but
of
we're
things I
not
don't
we're
like
not
about AI.
lagging. Huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't like about AI, but I just thought that if I can get in there and I can tell these stories, I can help preserve the culture,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, but I
Right.
don't have to like it, but I know I can use it for good.
Right.
Because I see a lot of bullshit online. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
A
that's a
lot of stuff
fact.
that I didn't like.
Yeah,
I see babies talking and all kind of crap, and
right.
and the way and how black people are being depicted with AI.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to we're going back like 70, 80 years when we have blackface through AI because now you don't know who making these
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah.
and they can depict us any way they want, and they could put it online, and and
Yeah.
nobody's stopping it, right?
Yeah. There's a skit, Fat N-word Chronicles or something. I forget what it is, but it's
Right.
it's really heavy set dudes, and they're at amusement parks or they're eating or they're riding bikes or whatever. And it's kind of funny, right? But at the
Who's
same
doing it?
time,
The question is who's behind it and who's doing it,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I
And the
don't
thing
know.
about AI, right? See, a lot of things get, and it's a gift and a curse because a lot of things in Hollywood, like you can't, it gets red flags, right? You can't go past the finish line with certain
Yeah.
things, and there's certain things they just won't do
Yeah.
because they may not want to offend people, and and also there are things stories that we may want to be told, and they just won't do it,
Yeah.
right? Like certain things about slavery. Like if we say, okay, we're gonna tell slavery the right way. We're gonna
Mm,
they they won't put it out, right?
yeah.
But with AI, you can do that, and nobody can stop you.
Mhm.
You can
Mm,
tell your stories because because there's nobody red flagging you or stopping you from doing
right.
it unless you're going through Hollywood, right?
Right.
But then again, there's another side of it where they're telling wrong information.
Right.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So,
I always worry about algorithms too because algorithms can suppress you if you're on a platform like YouTube or whatever, or pretty much all of them can low key suppress you.
yeah, in terms of information, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, and AI even does it. There's
yeah,
certain things that if you're prompting, AI won't even prompt it.
right.
It'll tell
Yeah,
you it can't do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a fact.
yeah. So
That's a fact.
that's even controlled to a certain extent.
Yeah, even on Canva, they won't do certain things. I think I've only encountered it once, but a woman definitely tried to do something with slavery,
Mhm.
and they said, "Yo, why don't you use this word and that word instead of slavery for your book cover?" And I thought that was very odd.
I was trying to create Black Egyptians, and AI wouldn't do it. ChatGPT would not do it. Said no, it goes against their it goes against their policy. And I said why? And they said it was the Egyptian government. It's the reason why they couldn't do it. Yeah, it's
Man,
crazy.
that's definitely crazy.
Mhm.
Well, we need some of these rich black folks to, go ahead and make their own AI, and then we can
See,
program it.
and it's another problem that I have with AI too. Is the voices,
Hmm.
right? I mean, I would prefer an African American voice to go with to tell the story about African Americans.
Hmm.
But it's very limited. The voices that they have are very limited, and then they trash. Right?
Hmm.
So the best voice that I can get is the one that I use, and then I get quite a few cats that tell me, "Hey, why don't you use an African American?" And I'm like, "Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's working."
Now,
And
is the voice you use Tony Brown? Is that true?
yeah, I guess that's Tony Brown. That's what
Yeah.
he was saying. But then he sounds white, and then people say it's overused, so I had to stop using that.
Oh
But to
man.
me, it doesn't really matter. I just thought if I can get the point across, it really doesn't matter to me what kind of voice it is, as long as the voice is powerful and it gets, and it's telling a story. So I don't have a problem with it, but some people do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think AI needs to get better with more of a variety of
Hmm.
voices to choose from
Yeah.
at a
Yeah.
good quality.
Yeah. Definitely. What's your ultimate goal? Do you have one yet, or are you just still figuring that out?
Yeah, sky's the limit, man. Movies, documentaries. What I put on IG and Facebook, I put out these 1 minute clips, Backspin Chronicles, and I do it in mind, looking further ahead that these 1 minute clips can turn into documentaries, right?
Right.
So, and that's why I do them because every one of those clips tell a story
Hmm.
that can either be a full fledged hour and a half series.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's my goal. It's one of the goals.
Dope. I definitely, want to take a moment to talk about your musical legacy. You have time for that?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, cool, cool. Two Kings in a Cipher. You guys
Mhm.
met at Howard. You and D Dot, Derek Angeletti, who
Right.
we've had in the studio, long, interview with him.
Mhm.
Um, really cool cat, by the way,
Yeah.
or a crazy cat, no pun intended.
That's my brother. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was listening to y'all today to just kind of refresh, and I was like, man, this I like this music. You know what I mean? I was like, man, this is so refreshing. I started dancing, and I was, just loving the
Mhm.
messages and stuff, and um, it really took me back. I'm glad you own it too, by the way. Because I think, you know, I don't know. I could, maybe I'm delusional, but I think, I don't know, man. I feel like it could come back like right now and be like a breath of fresh air.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about your legacy as a rapper?
Hey, I started off as a rapper. That's all I wanted to do. I came in the game wanting to be a rapper, not a
Mm,
producer. I started
right,
off as a DJ, and that's how I understood beats to become a producer because I was a DJ first.
right,
Most DJs become producers, right?
hmm,
Well, I was a rapper turned producer, and that's because I
right,
was a DJ first,
right.
right? But but for me, understanding hip hop, it was important for me to be a rapper. Yeah,
Hmm.
and going into production, you know, it made me want to do that because I wanted to produce people that I admired, like like the LLs and the Raquels, and these guys are my heroes, and I got to
Yeah.
produce them. And, and the reason being is because um, we didn't get to reach that level of success as
Yeah.
rappers,
Hmm.
and it wasn't because we weren't good. It was because that we didn't have to push and the promotion
Yeah.
for the album to blow up and do what it needed to do. And plus, we got caught up in between the whole movement of the NWAs and all that
Mhm.
stuff coming in. There was a big transition while we were working on the album. That was when that whole movement was going on with X Clan and Public Enemy, and all of a sudden, damn, and NWA comes out and it just shifts and just changes everything. And for me, I felt like, okay, well, if this is not going to work, then maybe I need to produce for the cast that I admire.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So, and that's why we started to fill those lanes, and then we moved into production.
Yeah. Who was the first person you produced outside of yourself?
After Two Kings in the Cipher or
Yeah.
before?
After.
Um, I think it was a door. That was like
Adore. Oh, the white rapper?
from out of Mount Vernon. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah, and
passed
then
away, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Yeah, I
Rest in peace, Adore.
think it was a door, and it was Ed OG and the Bulldogs.
Okay.
Did I think it was a remix for them. Yeah, and
Uh,
then it was Positive K,
okay.
and
What'd
then
you produce for Positive K? What song?
oh shoot, I can't remember. I think it's All Gravy. It was on an independent label that he had
Okay.
put out,
Gotcha.
and then believe it or not, Rakim, believe it or not, the record never came out.
Okay.
And then Sugar, What's Up Star. So
Oh,
that was
yeah.
that
That's
was
Sweet Tea.
exactly, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the first one that you know, got put out there, and everybody was like, okay, gave us a little bit of notoriety.
I remember that record. Yeah,
And then
definitely.
after Sugar, What's Up Star, then came Cold Rocker Party, the remix,
Okay.
and then Tracy Lee, the thing.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Tracy Lee Moore Howard.
Right.
By the
Yeah.
way, I wanted to go to Howard, man. My mom finally apologized to me because she wouldn't let me go to Howard. So
Word, oh
she,
man, yo,
yeah,
yeah, you missed a lot, bro.
mom's. Don't get. We have to talk offline.
What
I'm
year
a
we talking? What year we talking?
'90s,
Okay, 91,
early
92,
'90s.
early 90s. Okay, you would have been in there with probably like who was that early 90s? Taraji, Anthony
Wow.
Anderson, right?
I
I
think.
think they came by 89, 90.
I think. I think.
Marlon
Um,
Wayans.
Marlon. Yeah, Marlon Wayans. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, they were like
Yeah,
in like early, like 90, 91, 92.
my Dukes, man. Anyway, eh,
And
anyway,
Danny Lewis was there too. And then a
yeah,
a lot of people was there too.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, yeah. It's anyway. Howard was the Mecca. It is the
Oh yeah,
Mecca. It's
yeah.
called the Mecca.
Bloody
And
Betas. You would have been with the Bloody Betas,
man, listen,
right?
I would have. I
Yeah.
definitely would have. Yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to all the alphas out there. I've met a few, quite a few.
So why your mom didn't want you to go to Howard?
She thought DC was too crazy and ended up at Dell State, which You know,
No,
shout
DC
out to the
was,
homie.
yo, when I was there, DC was crazy. I'm gonna tell you, man. We were I used to live in this dorm on 13th Street.
Mhm.
I would like I could see prostitutes from out of my window.
Oh
It was
wow.
crazy. You had pimps.
Yeah.
Pimps would come out. They would come from Detroit and they would come out to DC and they would run shit. They had the Jerry curls and
Yeah.
whole nine with the the gator shoes. And,
Okay.
yeah, and they would pimp all these girls, all these hoes down on 13th Street. It was
Oh man.
because we was in the hood. They cleaned all that up, but Howard was smack in the hood back
I
then.
know.
So we got to see a lot of that stuff. And the dudes in DC wasn't really feeling us, so we had to fight a lot of the. They called them the DC Block Boys.
Mm.
Um, it's crazy time, man. Crazy time.
Yeah,
And now
man.
it's during the crack era too. All that was going
Right.
on. Yeah.
If my mom heard what you're saying, she would definitely feel like she made the right decision. For sure.
Nah, yeah. Nah, but you wouldn't. But as students, yeah, you would have been good.
I know.
Yeah.
Dell State wasn't nothing to sneeze at either. By the way, DC used to fight New York, and everything you could imagine happened at Dell State. It was
Yeah,
crazy too.
crazy.
Definitely, definitely. Now you were a part of the Hitmen. That was a legendary production group
Yes. Yeah.
for Bad Boy. What was your experience like there with that? Like, you got hit after hit after hit. You know, it was crazy.
That was a crazy. Yo, that was a crazy time, man. That was like it was unbelievable. It was incredible, and it was just you just waking up, and all of a sudden, all your records was on the radio.
Yeah.
But it was the struggle to get there was the
Hmm.
hard part. People think that these hits came overnight, but it was a struggle. I mean,
Mm.
the Two Kings and the Cipher, all that was struggle. All that
Hmm.
was the building blocks to get to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
But it took a
Yeah.
lot of work, and producing records that weren't hits to producing records that were hits, right? And then
Mhm.
when we started hitting, it was just hitting them out the ballpark, crazy, left to right, one after the other.
How much pressure was that? I mean, one thing people don't realize about hits is you do one and then you got to do it again. Then you know what I mean? You got to.
Yeah, but for us, we weren't concentrating on making hits. We were just concentrating on making good records. So it wasn't the pressure
Hmm.
of making the hits.
Okay.
I think the pressure came for me. It was, well, how many cuts can I get on this album, right?
On whose album?
So how many cuts on anybody's album?
Oh, okay.
So the conversation that I would have with the next person, how many cuts you got on an album? Well, I got three. Well, I got two. Well, I got four. Right. So we would
Yeah.
try to outdo each other to figure out how many records we had on everybody's album. So that was the competition. That was the pressure. But as far as the hits was concerned, they were just coming. But it's not like we were trying to. For me, I mean, I wasn't trying to make hit records. I was just trying to make good music,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
just happened to come out to be hits. I didn't
Yeah.
know they were going to be hits.
Hmm.
You just don't know because records that you thought were going to be hits didn't come out as hits. Right?
Right.
So I just concentrated on just making good records. And
How was it working with Diddy at that time?
uh, it was a learning experience. I learned
Mhm.
a lot just working with the crew and
Yeah.
bouncing off each other, and just um, getting cues from him and pointers from him and so forth. He had a certain way of how he wanted the production to sound,
Mhm.
and we had to follow that. I came in, I had a grungy sound. I had my stuff was very soundtracky before I came to Bad Boy.
Mhm.
He didn't want that kind of sound, so I had to switch it up.
Right.
Every producer in Bad Boy had a certain flavor, and he looked for each of us for certain things that we could do best. And so
Mhm.
you put it all together, and it comes out to one sound.
Yeah. What's your favorite track you produced? Do you have one? I mean, I know that's a crazy question. That's like
Yeah,
picking your favorite kid or something.
nah, to be honest, I really don't have a favorite song. I really don't have
Really?
a favorite track. Um, hmm, it's probably between Money, Power, and Respect. and Where I'm From.
Okay.
The one by Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that the one that's in Rolling Stone's top
Yeah,
list?
yeah. But
Okay,
you're not,
yeah.
and if you listen to that record, it's very soundtrack driven,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
that's something that I did outside of that. It's,
Right, right,
it's a sinister sound, and that's usually the type of music I like to do.
right.
Yeah.
Got you.
Mhm.
What about Biggie? Did you have a relationship with Biggie?
I didn't really get to know Biggie as well
Mhm.
because I came in '96,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
he died in '97.
Got
I
you.
didn't really get to bond with him like that, you know. But I knew him, but we weren't like great friends.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was more on business as far as
Yeah.
me giving him tracks and him rhyming on them and seeing him in the studio and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of
What
that,
what about what about that period of time, man? I was not in the game. I was not in the industry at that point. I was, a little later, but I had the aspirations by then.
mhm,
And one thing I felt very, very strongly was, this is crazy. It was Tupac, it was big, it felt like East versus West. Um, it was insanity to me, and I was an outsider at that point, um, almost to the point where I didn't really want to be in the game, or I definitely didn't want to go to LA. Like I had not traveled to LA by that time in my life.
mhm.
But you seem like a more quiet, reserved person. What was your position in the midst of all of that happening?
I came to the studio, I did my work, and I was out.
Yeah,
That's how I got down.
right.
I wasn't, I partied. I went to the clubs and did all that stuff, but I wasn't into all the other things. I wasn't involved with none of that. So I didn't get caught up in none of that nonsense.
Yeah.
And then we tried to get away from it. We moved to another country to produce records. We went out to Trinidad for about a good month or so to get away
Mhm,
from all of what was going on at the time because we wanted to concentrate.
mhm.
So we did that. But as far as all the extra stuff that was going on, I didn't even go out when they had at the time when they had the clash. When Bad Boy had that clash with Death Row. I think
Yeah.
it was it Soul Train Awards or something like
So,
that.
Source Awards.
It was out in L.A. They had went out to.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Soul Train. Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't even do. Yeah, I wasn't involved with none of that stuff.
Yeah,
Anybody will tell you, anybody that knows me will tell you, yeah, Ron used to just go in there, do his beats, and he was out.
yeah, yeah. How close are you to your rap?
That's just what it was.
Yeah, just a job. I got it. What now you chose the name Amin Ra. You know, what what made you pick that name? Like what were you who were you, I should say, at that time in your life?
Yeah, well, that came from being in Howard,
Mm,
being conscious, being around certain people that enlightened me.
yeah.
I come from that cultural background,
Mhm,
5% Nation, Nation of Islam, and all that stuff. But coming to Howard exposed me to even more, and I was just intrigued by the knowledge. We had this
yeah.
bookstore called Pyramid Books, and I used to live there.
Mhm,
And I picked up the autobiography of Malcolm X
mhm.
and found out that he lived a couple of houses away from me growing up in East Elmhurst, Queens. I'm reading the book and I'm seeing the address, and I'm like, "Yo, this dude lived on my block."
Yeah,
That blew me away totally.
yeah.
And then I picked up Malcolm X on Afro American history,
Mhm,
and I started learning about Kemet, and I was like, "Wow, yo, this is crazy."
yeah.
And then I picked up Tony Browder, the Browder
Mhm,
House, and I started
mhm.
learning about Amin Ra and the unseen force of the rising sun. I just got immersed into all that stuff. I just fell in love with the history, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think a
I
lot
wanted
of
to
us
drop,
did.
I wanted to drop metaphysics in hip hop. Nobody else was doing it.
Right, right.
Nobody was talking about pineal gland. Nobody was talking about melanin and all that stuff.
Mhm.
We were the first ones to do it.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. I maintain. Okay. Let me not say what I maintain because but I'll say this. You referred to it. NWA. It just seemed like when that movement came in, respectfully, everything changed everywhere, including New York, and it always confused me as to how we got sort of lost in that in the gangster rap, quote unquote gangster rap sort of music, when there was such a richness to the culture before that. You had Just Ice, KRS-One, at least the criminal minded version, and others before NWA, or at least at the same time. But after them, it seemed like everything changed, and
Yeah,
it almost washed away consciousness.
yeah. It wasn't cool, and it wasn't cool to be conscious anymore.
Hmm.
We used to get ridiculed after a while. It wasn't cool. Everybody wanted to curse. Everybody wanted to, call their women hoes and bitches, and that
Hmm.
was the cool shit. That's what everybody wanted to do, and that's what the record companies wanted to go after.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we were looked as being corny. It didn't
Hmm.
work.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but
But
it
you
is.
can't beat them.
It's huh?
You can't beat them. You join them on
It's,
the production
it's
side.
it, and they should call themselves NWAI because
Yeah. I thought the producing for the cast was doing the shit, the opposite shit that we was doing.
yeah,
You know?
right, right,
Gave
right,
them the hits. Crazy.
right. That's funny. That's crazy. Um, what are your thoughts on music now in general?
Yeah, I like a lot of it, and there's
Hmm.
some of the stuff that I don't like. I
Hmm.
appreciate I appreciate the Kendricks and the Drakes and the J. Cole's, all the lyricists. I appreciate all of them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, any final
I
word?
even like some of the production. To be honest with
Yeah. Who's your favorite producer? Or I mean, aside from yourself, aside from your crew, nobody in your crew can't say that somebody outside of your crew.
you, Larry Smith.
Oh, Larry's. Oh man, rest in peace.
Yeah, that was
He's the
man.
Oh my god, I wish I was able to meet him, man.
And the reason why I like Larry Smith was because of the quality of his production. I'm a quality dude.
Hmm.
Like I love quality. I get it. The dirty sound and all that stuff in hip hop. I love that too. But I'm a quality type dude. I just love you know clean snares and drum. I just love that shit.
Yeah.
I just love Larry's production. I just thought he was dope. He was ahead of his time,
You,
right?
you, you could do a documentary on Larry Smith.
Yeah, but I
That I
think
mean,
hip hop. Yeah. That I could do a nice little
even if it's
spotlight
a
on it.
short doc.
Yeah, definitely. Um, During the '80s, I think hip hop, the production on the production side, I think hip hop regressed during the '80s in terms of quality.
Hmm.
We started with Larry, and then when sampling came in,
Mm,
sampling really it dumbed down the production.
mm,
Quality wasn't there
mm.
throughout the '80s, and it started building back up. Right in
Right.
the '90s, it started to get better because then we
Yeah.
started incorporating. But a lot of it had to do with the bit rate in the sampler. The
Hmm.
cats was using SP12s, and the bit rate was very low. So the sampling, the sample quality was bad.
Right.
Production quality was kind of dull, right? And then it came out with 44K sampling with the MPC 60. The quality
Hmm.
started to get better throughout the '90s. Then we would also incorporate different sounds, drum machine sounds to hi hats and stuff to kind of brighten it up. Yeah. Then we had the Dr. Dre's and Premier. Oh, Premier. Boom. That's another one. That's my
Yeah.
man.
Shout out to Premiere.
Yeah. I think
Um.
for the '90s, I go with Premier. Most
Okay.
definitely.
Did y'all ever have any beef with cats like say like the track masters or anything? Like, I don't know, as a hitman, as a collective, felt, there were similar.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had beef with anybody as
Mhm.
far as production is concerned, I mean, I don't know. I've never had beef with anybody, so
Yeah.
I can't speak for others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about AI in music? How about that? Because AI in music is a different argument, right? Like shit. I would hate to see.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't dabbled with AI in music.
Yeah,
I haven't even gotten there yet. Yeah,
yeah,
I haven't done
yeah.
it. As far as production is concerned, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, across the board. I mean, I'll give you an example, and this is kind of crazy, right? Like, but the other day, I came across this mixtape. It's Eminem, right? It's a
Mm,
whole mixtape of Eminem, but it's actually all AI. It's AI generated Eminem mixtape.
that's
That,
crazy.
huh?
That's crazy you said that because I was just talking to a producer a while ago, and he's telling me how he uses AI. He says that
Mm,
shops his records using AI. Like what he does is he'll take if he wants to shop a record for Eminem, he'll make the beat and then he'll AI Eminem's voice on top of, and he'll write rhymes, right, as Eminem, and he'll sell the beats. I'm just using that as an example.
yeah.
As an example. So this is the song, and Eminem can hear himself on the voice, on the beat, rhyming with the flow.
Oh,
So this is what Cats is doing now. That's how they selling beats. That's
wow.
crazy, right?
I'm not even mad at that because that's giving him proof of concept for what it would sound like.
Yo, and here's the crazy thing. And if it's dope enough, the artist may be like, yo, just put it out. Let me just take the record. I don't have to do the vocals. You can just put it out
See,
like that.
I draw the line there. I draw the line there. We want M to write his raps.
I know, I
That's
know, I know.
that's where I had the problem with the
Yeah,
AI
I know,
Eminem
I know,
because
I know. But okay,
it's
but what
dope.
about but that would be kind of whack. That would be. But what
Yeah.
about uh like cats like Benny Siegel and what's the other
DOC.
DOC? Their
Yeah.
voices like messed up, and then they just use AI. So they write the rhymes, but they can train their voices based
Mhm.
on old content. Like they can
Yeah.
take the masters of
Yeah.
their albums, strip the music, take the vocals, and then train their voice, and then come back and then
Mhm.
put it on top of what they've written, and then you
Yeah.
get DOC from 1989, sounding
Yeah.
like it's in 2025. Like that's definitely
That's what Beanie did it. Beanie's already doing it. They just announced a joint album with Jadakiss, Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss, and he's using AI. I didn't even read it. I just know he is because he's already dropped the song with it. So
right.
it's already happening. DOC, I don't know what he's up to because I don't know. He's not. I would imagine he should be a perfect candidate, but he hasn't released anything,
Not that I
you know.
know of. No.
But that being said, I think everybody universally agrees that DOC and Beanie Siegel are exceptions to the general rule. Like, yo, DOC's pen is crazy, bro. Like when I first met him, man, I almost cried, bro. It was like a damn out of body experience. It was like this dude.
But does he write for Dr. Dre?
Yeah, he does. He did. He definitely did. I think he still might, but you know, there's nothing like the artist himself,
Yeah,
especially on that level, being respected as the one. I know he's respected, but if not for that accident, what if type thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
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 it'd have been totally different. Had
yeah, yeah.
yeah, had it
So
been something.
NWA might have been different, right? Because maybe he would have balanced it out. He didn't hardly even curse. Like he was,
But
he's from Texas.
so let's talk about this cursing thing, because I always hear people say Rakim, he's never cursed and this and that, and nobody cursed back in the '80s. So
Mm,
Rakim is a product of the '80s. Those rappers didn't curse,
yeah.
right? So it's not like he single-handedly is the one that didn't curse. None of them really cursed. The
Yeah.
first time I heard a curse on a record was Lottie Dottie. Right?
Right.
That was the beginning when he said, "With your wrinkled pussy, I can't be your lover."
Right.
I was like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" Like, yo,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So that was the beginning, and then came. I probably would want to say Two Live Crew.
Yeah.
Oh, that album was crazy. I was just like,
Yeah.
yo, these dudes is mad wicked with this. You're right. And then
Just Ice was pretty crazy too back in the day. Yeah, he was
but
definitely.
rappers weren't cursing like that. That was, I mean, if you listen
Nah,
to
definitely not.
Days records, all the '80s stuff,
Very rare.
So
I remember.
it wasn't just Rakim.
Huh?
It wasn't just Rakim.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Well, man, I just want to say thanks for pulling up, man. It's a good conversation, and I'm glad you're ahead of it because we need someone from the culture in this new world that is formulating so fast, and it's good that someone's got responsibility and integrity in mind. A lot of folks do not, but if hip hop's going to embrace this, I feel like we have to have some rules for AI, and obviously there are no rules anymore, so
Right.
that's a
So
whole nother part of it.
Yeah, we just have to find a lane, and we have to come in there and make good use of it.
Yeah.
We already know what AI is.
Yeah.
Come in and figure it out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do with AI as far as hip hop and our culture is concerned. Right? So if you do see stuff that's fucked up, find a lane to make good of it.
Yeah. All right. Any final words? That sounded like final words right there.
That was the final word. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right.